welcome back to the channel. I am the Fitted Insider. Got our first tutorial video on this channel. Now understand, there's a lot of brim curving tutorials out there. People have their own methods on how they curve their brims. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how I curve my brims, and more importantly, how to keep that curve going. And what I mean by that, a lot of people have their own techniques on how they curve their brims, like I mentioned, but nobody has really shown how they keep the curve going throughout the day or throughout a couple of days, because a lot of people don't have the vast quantity of hats or collection sizes. So a lot of people wear their hats more for than just one day at a time, you know what I mean? So with that being said, you got to keep that curve going. You know, because after a while, once you curve it up, whatever your technique might be, sometimes it'll flatten back out and you're just going to look like a goofball, to be honest. This is my way of curving my brim, and I've been doing it for a while, and it's been working out amazing, especially the curve that I like to put on my hats. It might be a little bit aggressive compared to others, but hey, it is what it is. Let's get to curving. But first and foremost, now, what is it? Nearly 70% of the viewership on this channel is not subscribed. So it really would mean a lot if you guys subscribe to the channel. If you guys smash the like button, especially subscribe to the channel, that would be amazing. Because like I said, nearly 70% of the viewership is not subscribed, and I'm kind of sad. Kind of sad at that. But anyways, you guys, without further ado, let's get it. Alright, y'all, let's get this shit. So first things first, distilled water. The way that I look at it, if you have the money to buy a $60 fitted, you have the money to buy a $1 gallon jug of distilled water. Why? Because if you're just using regular old tap water, I know it hasn't happened to a lot of people, it's happened to myself, but tap water not only ruins your steamer, it can also get some really odd residue, because after a while, all the inner workings of the steamer, it'll get some residue caught up and it'll start spitting some weird residue on your hats. That's happened to me a couple of times. That's why I switched over to distilled water, because you won't have that happen to you if you're just using distilled water. You know what I mean? So better to be safe than sorry. And once again, you can get distilled water at Walgreens, Walmart, Target, CVS probably. It doesn't matter. It's all around, super cheap. Go and get it. I know that they've been having shortages, so maybe Amazon might be a good thing. But let's get this going. So you got your steamer. Steamers come in all looks and sizes. This is a Black & Decker whatever steamer. So we get this a bubbling. Turn it on, it gets a bubbling. So yeah, it's a bubbling right now. Probably another 10 seconds or so. All right, y'all, let's do this. It's ready. Now, one of the most common asked questions of, oh, how long should you steam the brim for? Honestly, I'm not going to give you guys a real answer to that. I feel like, depending on the hat, because some hats are different, some brims are different. Some brims can be harder, some brims can be softer, especially depending on poly or wool make. So it can vary. So I'm not going to give you a specific number on how long you should steam the brim for. As you can see, just steaming willy beaming. But yeah, I'm not going to give you guys, because I don't think there's a right or a wrong answer to how long you should steam it for. But obviously you don't want to be doing it for too long, you know what I mean? Probably at most like 90 seconds, I would say. But like I said, there are some hats out there where the brim is like super hard, super tough. So this should be good. Yeah, for me, I like to stop when I can start seeing the like the heat particles of the distilled water start to like rise, if that makes sense, on the brim. That's when I like to stop. Or what you can also do is just feel it. Just feel around the brim, and if it's soft enough, then it's ready. Like, that's the biggest thing. Like, I don't think it should be treated like rocket science or anything like that. So get your mug, whatever you use. I use this kind of old school kind of mug. Know what I'm saying? Nothing crazy. I like to have this handle. I think that's kind of a good thing. So you just line it up. You just line it up, middle it off with whatever apparatus you might be using. Yeah, you line it up. Oh yeah, this should be good. This should be good. Line it up. Oh yeah. All right, so yeah, this should be a good curve. Yeah, kind of like this, if the camera can pick up on that or not. There's a lot of people that, you know, that's it. That's pretty much all they do. And then they kind of just keep it in place, like so, for what, 10, 15 minutes, that kind of thing. And then they just, whoop, put the hat on. But in my experience, no, you need more than that. Putting the hat on after curving it right away, like, the curve itself is not going to stay. Like, it might stay for a couple hours, but realistically, it's not going to stay the whole day. You know, and that's kind of like what I like to work towards, is a good, nice curve last all day. That's what I'm shooting for. So we're good. We're good. I'm going to hold it for another minute. First step in the process is leaving this on for a couple minutes. All right, so we should be good on that. So next thing, take a look at the hat, like so. Being all like, okay, that's going to look nice. Kind of curve it yourself a little bit. Yeah. And then that's where the cup comes in handy. So after I do the initial curve with the cup, I then use the cup technique itself to then give it some more curve, or more of a concrete curve. So now, believe it or not, the job is not done yet. What I like to do, because like I said, if you want the curve to last all day or more than a day, you're going to leave this in the cup for a while. So what I like to do is now leave it in the cup for minimally 2 hours, or until the brim itself is completely dry. I mean, the brim shouldn't be crazy wet to begin with, but it needs to be dry before you put the hat on, or at least that's my belief. So now we're going to leave this on for a couple hours, and we'll just come back. All right, y'all, so let's take a look at the final product. It's been roughly 2 hours, probably more around like an hour and 50 minutes, but as long as you let this sit, let it hold for a good 2 hours, roughly 2 hours, that's all it really needs, or at least until the brim is dry. So, yeah, let's take a look and see how the final results are. Yeah, so, I mean, let me know what you guys think. It looks like this curve is pretty spot on. It's how I want it to look. A really nice curve from one end to the other. And like I said, this curve, the way that I do it, not just a curve that's going to last a couple hours. It's supposed to last the entire day. Because the last thing that I want to do is play with my hat, or play with my hats all day rather than wearing it. I see a lot of folk out there going like this all day. Going like this all day, going like this all day. Just wear your hat, you know what I mean? So the last thing you should worry about is your curve, right? But as long as you know it's good, you're not just going to be sitting there like pretending that you're a baseball player when you're not. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that is it, you guys. That was the brim curving tutorial. Like I said, I've been doing this for quite a while. For me, it's been working. But like I said, I'd rather have my hat ready to be curved all day without having to play with my hat. You know what I mean? I think that's the biggest part, is just to wear your hat. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to worry about doing the whole like stupid hand thing with the curve and stuff. Like, as long as you know that your hat is good, that's all that counts. That's all that it should matter. Final product, we got the Marcy Yankees that, oh, I heard it's making a comeback. It looks pretty good. One thing I will say, I don't claim to be an expert on this. I just do what works for me. But that is it, you guys. I'm the Fitted Insider. You can find me on Instagram at Fitted Insider. Leave this video a like, comment, and subscribe. I heard it's coming back. See you later.